Hello, VWISE DC graduates. We are ready to get started with your Phase 3 Post-Program Support Hangout. There are 179 of you, and I'm proud to report that you are the largest class to date. You just beat New Orleans by 10. So I now challenge you to be the boldest. You probably heard that quite a bit while we were down in DC. And one of the ways that you can do that is by taking advantage of all the opportunities. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about some of those right now. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. For those that are watching live, this is being recorded as we speak, so will also be available and released via YouTube shortly after the Hangout. So you may be wondering what Phase 3 has in store for you, and it's our opportunity to continue to serve you and to make sure that we are putting the business resources in your hands that we need so that you can advance your business, so that you can continue to advance towards your business goals. Phase 3, I will be honest with you, is ever changing because we're always trying to improve, broaden your resources, and continue those opportunities forward. So I encourage you to keep up with us. I'm going to say that many times, but I encourage you to keep in touch with us. It's really important for us to be able to watch your business grow. For those that are just beginning to launch, to see those launches and be able to celebrate in your success of launching and help you promote that. It's important for us to continue to be able to reach out and tell you about the opportunities that we are able to offer you in part through the great resource network that we do have and that we are building. And it's also important for us to continue to keep you all networked. So you already have one really important resource, and it's each other. I want to encourage you to keep that network going, whether it be on the local or national level. And I also want to encourage you to start reaching out to some of your other fellow graduates now across classes. So I'm not sure if you heard it on site, but you are the 12th graduating class. There are now 1,660 of you from around the nation. I think we just now have a couple states that aren't represented in that number. So certainly there's likely a fellow graduate or fellow graduates in your state, in your city, and maybe even in your small town. So whether it be via social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those good resources, or even via email, make sure that you're keeping in touch with you. In touch with each other and in touch with us. So now for some of the meat and potatoes, what I'm going to do my best to talk you through is how you can keep in touch with us, how you can log into the graduate page on the website and start talking to you about some of the business resource partners that we do have. It certainly doesn't end here. So if you have any questions along the way, go ahead and put those in the chat feature that's just to the bottom right of your screen, and we're going to monitor and keep up with that and likely answer those questions at the end. And then I'm going to give you some other good ways to keep in touch with us so that we can continue to answer those questions for you. Some of you may develop those questions after we have this Hangout. So to start, I think Jim advanced the slide for us. So if you remember Jim, he was our IT help and has been our IT help along the way through Phase 1 and Phase 2. He's now helping us with Phase 3 as well. So he's a steady support for us, and he's helping us through these slides as well. But if you take a look, you'll see the website that you can get to. It was actually the website that you applied through. It's also a website that is for your graduate tab. And what we're going to want you to do is we want you to go ahead and we want you to click on VWISE Biz Support. This is a new part of the website that you may not have explored quite yet. And you're going to enter your username and your password, and both are fairly generic. Your username is VWISE Student, and you'll see your password there. It's P, the @ $, so pretty simple there. You can always reach back out to us and we can send that on to you. It's also in the program support booklet that you should have all received now in the mail. If you haven't, please go ahead and reach back out to us and we'll make sure that we send you your packet. We did send packets to everyone. Sometimes, of course, they get lost in the mail, but part of the reason we set this up for a couple weeks after the event was so that you could have those in hand and hopefully look through those as a guide while we're going through everything with you this afternoon. So for those that maybe took the opportunity to hop on the website, if you're looking at it now, this is what your screen should look like. And you'll see on the bottom right, you'll see VWISE Biz Support. Another way that you can get to it is you can go ahead and click on the far right, top right of your screen, you'll see a tab that says Graduate. You go down a little bit and you'll see VWISE Biz Support. Some of the other things that you'll see going on the screen is Refer a Friend. Many of you have already done that, and we're already starting to see those applications come in, so thank you for helping us get the word out. Showcase your business. See what fellow grads are doing. I'm going to go through those other two in just a little bit. So right now, though, I want to focus on that VWISE Biz Support piece. So next slide, please. When you click on VWISE Biz Support, what you're going to get to is this page that is where you can put in that good login information. So your username and password, VWISE student for username, and password is P @ then $word. So as I mentioned, pretty easy there, pretty generic for you to get in. And once you click into there, you're going to come to a page that, and this is just part of it, that shows some of those business resource partners that we have with a quick description of those. They are also right in your VWISE Biz Support booklet that you received, and I'm going to flip just to the front page so you can start seeing those if you haven't had a chance to dig in there. And all the information that's contained on the website is actually in your resource booklet as well. It's important to visit the website only because those resource offerings are changing over time, and we do expect quite a bit of change over the next 6 months. So that's a place where you can keep up with them. Something Kim will talk to you. Kim is going to be on board for the presentation a little bit later on, and something Kim is going to talk to you about is our new website. So when I say that a lot is going to be changing in the next 6 months, probably even the format that you see here is going to change. So it'll be important for you to keep up with us, and we'll of course let you know as those changes happen. So that's what you're going to see there. I'm going to start digging into what some of those business resource opportunities are, and I'm going to focus to start on some of the financing, because we know access to capital was a very well attended class, and we continue to get questions about what are some of those opportunities. I will start by saying that I'm just going to go through a few of them with you. Certainly this is not all inclusive, but I'm going to share with you some of the business resource partners that we trust and who we've built relationships with over the last several years to make sure that they can best support you. So to start, we have Axion, and if you guys remember on site, if you had a chance to visit with our exhibitors on site, Axion was there. Axion also led a class. So you probably, for those that went through the class, it was much more in depth than what I'm going to go through with you right now. But here's just a start. So in order to use Axion through our program, it's important that you do have your executive summary prepared, and usually that's the first piece of your business plan, and that you go ahead and you send that to us directly via a new email address for you. It's the Biz Support email address, and that's where we encourage you to communicate with us for phase 3 is vwisebiz@syr.edu. So that's the first step. We're going to connect you with one of their counselors. And depending on where you're located, the counselor is usually specific to your region. And that's really important because Axion, their loan ranges depend on the state that you live in part. They also depend on the industry you're in, how much time you've been in business. They do have loans that are available for those that are just getting started. And typically the amount of money that they're going to be able to give you is going to increase if you've had a little bit more time in business. So again, I encourage you to visit their website as well, and that talks you through some of that. But certainly the first step through our program is to get your executive summary in, and then we'll connect you with one of their loan counselors. I have a little bit of data on the slide, and it talks to you about some of the loan size ranges. I didn't go too far in depth because that really does have a lot of dependency on your industry. And also, as I had mentioned, the state that you're in and how long you've been in business. But they start at 200. They can actually go up to 300,000, though that is rare. And interest rates range from 8% to 22%, depending on your credit score and loan product. So if we can go to the next slide, please. For any of you that have gone ahead and applied through a loan before, you'll see some that often they talk about the C's of credit. They're talking about credit, credit capacity, character, collateral, capital, and conditions. And when you go ahead and you apply for your loan, they're assessing that, and that's going to in part determine, how much money that they're able to give you and what percent interest rate they're able to give you. Some of the prohibited businesses, and this is important because you may not be able to get an application through, is real estate development, firearms, drugs, pharmaceutical, and adult entertainment. I'm not sure that we have anybody in those industries, but certainly if you're thinking about those industries, this may not be the right loan type for you. So next I'm going to start talking about one of the other opportunities. So if we can advance to the next slide, please. I'm going to talk about BowFly. This is an alternate lending, a lending source, and I sometimes like to describe it like a matchmaker. So anybody who has been on a dating site, you put certain information in, there's a person on the other side who's putting information in, and then a match is created, we hope. So for when it comes to BowFly, BowFly has done a nice job of creating a portal that's just for our VWISE graduates. So if you're interested, once you hear a little bit more and you peck around their website, which is bowfly.com, if you're interested in using this as a possible route to capital, you're going to go ahead through that portal, which is bowfly.com/VWISE, and they have a fairly simple application that you're going to fill out, giving your information on your business, etc. And then there are folks on the other side. There are lenders that are similarly putting in their information, and if a match is had, then you will be contacted. I'm simplifying, but that's definitely part of the process. They have up to 5,000 folks that are considered lenders, and so there are plenty of eyes and plenty of opportunities for a match to be made. Another nice thing that BowFly has done for graduates of our VWISE program is they've waived their $500 application fee, so there is no charge initially for you going through and at least applying. So and that's one of the notes that's right on that slide there. BowFly waives their $500 application fee for all VWISE graduates. Next slide, please. So then next, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Kiva Zip. Now, Kiva Zip is a pilot program, and it's a project of Kiva.org, and we have a great relationship with Kiva.org, specifically their Kiva Zip program. And again, this is another opportunity. It's a microloan opportunity. So loan sizes range from $2,000 to $5,000, and it's a 0% interest rate for a period of 12 to 24 months. Application is pretty easy through this one as well, but before you get to that application phase, in order for us to connect you with our partners at Kiva Zip specifically, you do have to have a completed business plan, and you do need to submit that through vywisebiz@syr.edu. So the next opportunity, another financing opportunity I'm going to share with you briefly, is StreetShares. So you may remember that StreetShares was on site with us both as an exhibitor, and also a very fun part that they were able to share with us is their Commander's Call Awards. So I actually don't have anything on the slide about the Commander's Call Awards, because that's just a really neat opportunity that they offer. It's not a loan, it's not a match. It's just they identify every month a small business that they think has great potential, and they have a team that votes on who is going to win the Commander's Call Award each month. So if that's something that's interesting to you, you can hop on their website, which is streetshares.com. You can put you can put your business out there, and that might be a $5,000 opportunity for you. You saw that we had a couple of folks, Bridget Platt as well as Angela Cody Roget, who received that Commander's Call Award on site. But what I'm going to talk to you about with this slide is a little bit about their process. So in order to be eligible to receive financing through StreetShares, you do have to have they have options for 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year business loans. So it's important. This isn't just a pure startup opportunity. This is for those that have been in business for at least a year. In their platform, once you go ahead and apply, and you can apply directly through streetshares.com. Their platform is a little bit like an auction. Is they have folks that are out there who are potentially interested in lending to a certain business. They're obviously looking for certain things, and they go through really an auction process, and that allows for those that are looking to borrow that money to perhaps get some lower, more competitive rates. So if you're interested in that, I recommend that you go directly through streetshares.com, and they have a really good description on their website on how that works. We also, if you remember Mark Rockefeller, who was up on that stage, he is the CEO and co-founder of StreetShares, and this is a veteran-owned company, but you do not need to be a veteran or a military spouse to receive funding through StreetShares. So that might be an opportunity that you want to share with some other folks that you know. So CorpCo is the next piece that I'm going to share with you. Many of you may already have your EIN number, so this may not be applicable for you. And if you did the legwork, you know that you can get your EIN number for free. CorpCo tries to make it easier for some that may want that extra assistance, and there is a fee that's associated with that. And this chart outlines the EIN fees as well as some of the other fees that are at a lower rate for our VWISE graduates. One piece of it that tends to be pretty important to those that are just getting started is they really want some help through that paperwork for incorporation. And so this chart does a nice job, and it's also on our website of showing you what their fees are if you choose that CorpCo is a place that you want to go through for that support. As an example, state filing fees, that we always get a question on that. That is dependent on state, so the fee isn't included there, but they are offering discounted rates for preparation and filing of incorporation documents, about the half the rate that they would offer somebody who is not a graduate of one of our programs. I told you that I was going to go back and tell you a little bit about the other pieces of our website, so I'm going to do that now. So refer a friend, we already covered VWISE Biz Support, but showcase your business and see what fellow grads are doing. We haven't covered that yet. So showcase your business, that's an opportunity to fill out a form. It takes about 10 minutes. It's going to ask you some basic business information, and it's also going to ask you for your high-res photo and for your business logo. And what we're going to do is we're going to populate that, and we're going to place it on our website for you. We are making some major revisions to our website. In fact, we are completely stepping away from the website that we have right now, and one of the pieces that we're building up is making sure we're doing a better job of highlighting our grad-owned businesses. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now, but it won't be what it looks like in a few months. So this is what it looks like now. In the future, what we were planning to do is making sure that we have a high-res shot of you, and it's going to look more like a business card profile of you and your business, and it's also going to include your logo. And our goal is to make sure that you can search for a business as we grow out the business profile, the database, that you can even search by industry. And there will be different ways as we grow that out that you can search, so that it will be the easiest for you. At this point, I recommend that you grab a hold of that shared contact list that we gave to you, and that is something that is an Excel format for a reason, so that you can go ahead and you can filter as you need to and go down to the industry specific level for your fellow graduates as you may need to use that list. Okay, the next piece I'm going to share with you is another way that you can showcase your business, and that is through the Rosies Network, another business resource partner of ours that was on site for you in DC. Some of you may remember them for the beautiful wardrobe that they had provided, and some of you may even have walked home with a shirt or a dress or some piece of clothing that we hope added to your professional wardrobe. But what Rosie's wardrobe is just a very small piece of what they do. Importantly, what they have on their website is a way to profile your business. So for those that may not have a website, this is a free way for you to have a comprehensive page that's going to get your information out there. And they call it the Rosies list. So for anybody that's used a service like Angie's List, the goal of this is to be somewhat similar in that you're able to locate a business, veteran-owned, military spouse-owned business, down to the level of what city or town that you may be in, so you can actually search it based on zip code. So it's a really neat way, free way for you to advertise your business. So that's about all I'm going to cover, and I'm now going to put you in the good hands of Kim Krula, our program coordinator, who I'm sure by now you all know very well.
All right, hello everyone. It's good to be back with VWISE DC. It's starting to feel like a long time since the event, but so many of you have been checking in with us by phone or by email, and I appreciate that. We love to hear from you guys. Please keep doing that as you go forward, especially with those surveys. Those are how we make the program better. Jim, we're going to advance the slide and start talking about some of the resources that are available at the IVMF. So by now I'm sure you all know that VWISE is just one of the many educational programs available through the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. I won't belabor this too much, as everybody did receive flyers for these programs in your welcome bag at VWISE DC, but I just want to take a moment to point them out again. If you go to vets.syr.edu/education, which is right there on the slide on your screen, you can read all about them. We have several entrepreneurship-related programs, as well as some that are related more to career services and transition, knowing that we all have extensive networks within the military community. If you have folks who are looking for resources, definitely take advantage of them yourself, and also, you know, bring that news out there to others who may be in need of them. Particularly for post-9/11 veterans with a service-connected disability, we do have the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for veterans with disabilities. And for first-degree family members of such veterans, we have the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for veterans' families. This program is an entrepreneurship and business education program. It's structured much like VWISE. So there would be an online course followed by a residency portion, and then, of course, your Phase 3 mentorship supports. So if you're interested in continuing your education with the IVMF, that's a great way to go. We also have the Veteran Career Transition Program, and this is for, again, post-9/11 veterans and for military spouses of post-9/11 veterans and active duty service members. And what this is to help folks who are transitioning from the military world into the civilian workforce, help them to build that resume, help them to build those interviewing skills, help them to sort of translate that experience that they have into the civilian world, and also to gain sort of the soft skills such as Microsoft Office that might be really important to helping to successfully transition. Moving on to a couple of the other programs at the IVMF, we have Boots to Business and Boots to Business Reboot. So for many of you who have already transitioned out of the military, you're a bit beyond this at this point, but if you have any friends who are currently in the military, Boots to Business is actually part of the transition or TAP or GPS program, whichever branch of service you're in may refer to it a little bit differently, which very recently has been opened to service members and their spouses at any point before transition. So you see I've got transitioning military on there for Boots to Business, but actually very recently service members and their spouses can take it at any time. And this is a little introduction to entrepreneurship, to the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, for those who are continuing to decide what they may want to do after they transition out of military life. So again, many of you are beyond this stage, but it's a good resource for those who are still considering. We also have Boots to Business Reboot for those who have already left the military, who may be thinking of a career change into entrepreneurship, and we hope to be offering some more of the Boots to Business Reboot for already transitioned veterans at a later point this year, so definitely good to go on to vets.syr.edu and check that out. two of the IVMF educational programs that are open to all veterans and military families I'm going to dig into a little bit more in this presentation. One is the IVMF Resource Library, and the second is VetNet. So we'll talk about the Resource Library first, and we can go to the next slide, Jim. So this was one of the resources you probably used during your Phase 1 work with VWISE, and just in case you didn't, we've included the URL for you right here, library.vets.syr.edu. So as you probably know, you can search by topic or keyword to access information about entrepreneurship that our institute has collected specifically with veterans and military families in mind. What I like about this is it's not just things written down. There's some videos on there. There's some different types of documents and articles. So there's, depending on how you learn, whether you're visual or audio, can be a few different options for you there. So I'll show you a little bit on the next slide about what it looks like. Once you type in that URL, you're going to go to a very blue screen, and you're going to have two options that we've circled in red. They are a little bit small, and I apologize for that. To search by keyword, you're going to look to the upper right of the screen where there is an entrepreneurship tab. So to search by keyword, you would click on entrepreneurship, or to search by to search by topic, you would select entrepreneurship. If the topics listed there don't fit, or if you're looking for something that may not fit into one of our 10 to 15 most commonly browsed topics on that tab, you can search by keyword where it says search articles next to the little hourglass. So moving on, Jim, with the entrepreneurship tab by topic. Oh, and we can go back one. Thank you. You can see we have a few different topics there for you. You can search for things related to accounting, to benefits, to business plan labs, and more. The one I chose for this demonstration was investing in yourself. That's something that we forget to do very often, so I always like to point that out. So you can see it brought up a variety of different resources we've collected for investing in yourself. And for those of you who participated in the pitch party at VWISE DC, you know the pitch is a very big part of that, so there are some pitch preparation resources there, as well as, you know, work-life balance. That was another one of our breakout sessions, or our speakers in the general session, very important to go through. So as far as keyword, if we move on, I typed in financing, and you can see there's a lot of military financing options that popped up. So either through the VA or the SBA, or there's our Introduction to Business Ownership textbook that you all received during Phase 1. You can see when you search, it does break it down into what type of resource it is. So the first two are links. The next one's a textbook. Videos would show up with a little different blue icon. Just a variety of different resources for you to go through and make sure that you're getting the information you need to know to be successful. So moving on, we will also be talking about VetNet, which is really fun. You can access VetNet at vetnethq.com, so the URL is right there on your screen. And this is, of course, free online education for IVMF graduates. As you're working to start and grow a business using and leveraging and building on the skills and ideas that you already possess. So the IVMF sometimes presents webinars via this channel. Also, many of the support partners that Megan was talking about before, Axion, Kiva Zip, they will often come on to present their own online lectures, host Ask the Expert sessions, or host office hour sessions. So although many of the webinars on VetNet are content-driven and instructor-led, a great many are also open and very much driven by the participants, by what your questions are at that particular time and by the needs of those that log on to that particular Hangout. This is one of the ways that we respond to the needs you express to us in your graduate surveys. So if in your survey you say, hey, I need some more help with marketing, I need to really dig in on marketing, that's how we know that one of the webinars we need to present on VetNet might be about marketing, or marketing your military experience in particular. And another great thing about the VetNet Entrepreneur Track is that you can post questions before the Hangout. So once you know what a Hangout is about, so say this the next coming Hangout is on financing, you can post specific questions before that Hangout, and the instructor will know a little bit about the specific needs that are out there before that they go in. So to access all this great stuff, the first step would be to log into your Google Plus account or to create a Google Plus account. This VetNet Entrepreneur Track is on Google Plus. So all you got to do is go to plus.google.com and get set up or get logged in. And you can go to the vetnethq.com. This is step 2. You will notice that VetNet has 3 tracks. Again, we serve veterans with many different career goals. So for some of them, it's the resume and career search skills. For others, it says career connections. For many of you who have come through VWISE, you're going to really want to connect with the entrepreneur track right there in yellow. So you're going to go to VetNet HQ, access the entrepreneur track portal, and then you're going to follow us. This will allow you to keep up on our posts and be invited to our Hangouts as they happen, so you don't need to be constantly checking back to the page. You're going to get an email notification as events are scheduled, and this would include the IVMF webinar series, which again is for IVMF and its partners to present those topics specific to business development, startup, and growth. So that is the resources available through the IVMF. And we're going to move on. Just remember, as a little recap here, to participate in that entrepreneur track, you're going to create your Google Plus account, you're going to follow us, and then if you want to watch via YouTube, you can do that as well. If you have a Google Plus account, I really recommend watching that way. However, you can go on through YouTube as well, but you still have to have that Google Plus login to receive the live YouTube link. If you're not at a point where this is something that you want to do live, you can always view all the past webinars. They are archived on YouTube, so I've put the URL up there for you to take a peek at. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can be notified after each new video is added. Just know that this is going to include any new video, not just our webinar series and not just our business-related videos. But it's a great way to keep up with the IVMF as a whole if you do that. All right, next we're going to dig in a little bit to the resources available through Whitman. So VWISE and the IVMF actually started at the Whitman School of Management at Syracuse University, and Whitman has since just sort of exploded its resources available to the veteran and military family community, and has come up with a really great variety of things for those of you looking to further your formal education in business. So one of those, if you're interested in getting your MBA, they do have an MBA for Veterans program at Whitman. It's a 14-month program with an emphasis on leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and not just classroom education. There is a large emphasis on mentorship and experiential learning here, and this is specifically for veterans with veterans in mind. Most MBA classes are going to have a lot of different undergraduate degree backgrounds present, so this one is looking at a veteran cohort specifically and making sure that they're utilizing the experiences and the skills that you already have coming up from the veteran or the military family community. Another great program at the Whitman School is going to be the online MBA or the iMBA. So if you don't have a chance to come to Syracuse and get your MBA on campus, you can actually do so from a distance online. So it's a bit more flexible program, and it is an accredited program for distance learning. And it is a combination of online learning and on-campus and international residencies. So it's another great way to go if you can't devote, those 14 months entirely in Syracuse. So definitely go to whitman.syr.edu to check out those programs if that's something that you're interested in doing. The final program at Whitman that I'm going to highlight here is the Masters in Entrepreneurship. So a little bit different from an MBA. This is 30 credit hours, and it focuses on business learning, entrepreneurship learning, and also field experience. And what's kind of cool is they've broken it down into 4 track options based on what kind of business you have or are looking to start. So you might want the new venture track, or you might want the social venture track. You might be working more in the corporate corporate world, or you might be focusing on a business that you can leave for your family in the future. So depending on what your goals are with your particular business, you can really drill down and focus into tools and learning that's going to be useful to you in that particular type of business. Something to note about this is an integrated class between veterans and non-veterans, which definitely adds a good element too. We want to have resources that are out there that take advantage of all different life experiences as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, again, go to whitman.syr.edu and check it out. All right, so moving on, again, you guys went through this in your phase 1, so I won't belabor it too much. Remember all of those resources that are available to you through the Small Business Administration, you know, whether it's mentorship through a SCORE office, whether it's reaching out for veteran-specific resources through your Veteran Business Outreach Center, or perhaps through a Women Business Center, you know, for particularly if you're economically or socially disadvantaged woman in business. They have some great resources there for you. If you're looking for procurement help, if you're in government contracting, you want to reach out to your local PTEC. And we hope this never happens, but in case you do experience a natural disaster, there are disaster center offices through the SBA to help you rebuild your home and business. The best thing the best advice I can give to you with all of these wonderful resources that are out there is to visit sba.gov and to look at that local resources tab if you haven't already, and try to find out what is in your area. So we can show you what that looks like. Again, this was something that you did pretty heavily in phase 1, so we won't go too much into this, but the next slide will show you, just in case you didn't have time to do this before the event. This is what sba.gov looks like. They have a local assistance tab right there circled in red, and the next slide will show you when you click on the local assistance tab, you can search either in your state or by a distance from your particular zip code for all of those different resources that were listed a couple slides ago, whether it be your district office, a SCORE chapter, a small business development center. Definitely good resources to have in your back pocket and just to connect with. Let them know what you're doing and have them let you know what supports they might be able to offer. So as we wind down here in our presentation and move forward, we are going to just take a moment to, next slide, Jim, remind you of the support of your VWISE network, like Megan touched on already. We have over 1,600 graduates at this point. Don't forget to reach out on social media. You will start to be receiving quarterly alumni newsletters from us. These will come via email, and they're going to come from vwisebiz@syr.edu. And these are really the best way for you to learn about potential future alumni events that we might hold, as well as future pitch and business plan competitions. If you want to get up there on stage like the gentlemen and ladies did during the city business plan competition, you certainly will have a chance, and those future newsletters are going to be your best way to learn about those opportunities, as well as by making sure you can receive those emails from VWISE Biz. And then, of course, as Megan mentioned, to help with connecting to your VWISE network, we are going to very soon launch a new VWISE website with a much more user-friendly graduate business directory, so you can connect with those supports that are in your industry, in your area, or, hey, I met that person during VWISE DC and I remember her face but not her name, and now I can connect to her on here because we're going to have her headshot. So a lot more utility there coming soon. So make sure to get those graduate profiles in through the VWISE website so you can be among the first to be featured there. And at this point, we want to open it up to any questions you may have about any of these resources that we have talked about thus far.
We were asked to share the login information again. I'm on mute, so we were asked to share the login information again, and be happy to do so. So, Jim, if you don't mind clicking back to that second slide in the presentation. So it'll be up front and center for everyone, and I am also going to share it in the chat box. So that is your username, VWISE student, and your password is $, $, $. I'm typing it in for you, and you're going to see it in just a moment as well. So how you are going to access that and where you're going to put in that information, so how you're going to access the website is whitman.syr.edu/VWISE/graduates. So if you go to the site where you applied, you're going to see a graduate tab to the far right. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on VWISE Biz Support. There's going to be two different ways that you can do that. One is just by clicking on Graduate, which is going to be a tab on your far right, upper right corner. And you're going to see a pull down. That's one way you can do it. The other way, as circled on the slide that's up now, is by clicking on VWISE Biz Support, and then it's going to bring you to your login page, and that's where you're going to go ahead and type in your username, which is VWISE student, and your password, which I've put in the chat window, $, $WORD. So I hope everybody has that now. You can just email us, and we'd be happy to send it. It's also located in the right here. So if anybody is looking at your screen, I'm holding it up. It's that little pink box that's in your booklet. So we have another question. Are the programs at Whitman discounted? Do they charge out of state? I'm going to keep this pretty simple because I'm not the expert here, and we have some really good folks that are working on that. I'm going to talk about a couple things. One is you can find out a lot of good information by going to whitman.syr.edu, and they have folks that work in their office that can help you through what you may what your particular benefits may be. For some, they have access to you may have access to your GI Bill benefits still, so it's going to change what that amount is. They do charge. It is out of state They do charge out of state tuition. Hopefully that helped answer your question a little bit. There's also a great tool that's out there for those that are looking to use their GI Bill benefits, and it's a GI Bill comparison tool. So if you Google GI Bill comparison tool, you'll actually be able to get some of that good information as well, and it will help you if you're trying to decide among different colleges, different universities, different programs. It will help you see what you can receive from that school. And yep, there's a good address that was already put in there as well. I'm gonna also give you another site that we didn't mention. Just a little twist on what you already know, the vets.syr.edu. If you put in veterans.syr.edu, you're going to be able to find some literature on the programs as well. So I'm going to give that one to you, and then whitman.syr.edu. If we're giving you way too many ways to access information right now, you can always just reach out to us via email, and we can connect you with some good folks as well. It's now 2:45. We're happy to take any more questions over the next couple of minutes. And after that, as we've mentioned, our Biz Support email address is VWISE that's VWISE Biz, so it's biz@syr.edu. And Jim is mentioning that we don't have any more questions that are out on YouTube or via the Google Plus site. So just wait one more minute and then we will be in touch. So I have a question. I was thinking about doing the EBV because I have a service-connected disability. So is it the same as VWISE? Would it be beneficial to do EBV? And I would say absolutely. EBV is an amazing program, and I would say largely we have the VWISE program due to the great success of the EBV program. That was the first program that came out of the Whitman School of Management in 2007. And so many years under their belt. It's actually now taking place at 9 different institutions across the country, but it's headquartered here at Syracuse University. So your application initially comes through Syracuse, but you wouldn't necessarily participate in that program through Syracuse. It is a 3-phase program, and I'll talk about some of the differences. So VWISE is 15 days online, EBV is 30 days online, so a little bit more comprehensive there. The second phase of the EBV program is a residency, and it's 7 days in length with travel. Usually you have to make sure that you have about 9 days of availability. So it's a 7-day residency. And the third phase is ongoing mentorship and support. And that does look a little bit different than VWISE as well, but there's certainly overlap in the services offered. That residency portion, it takes place at one time per year at each of the participating universities. Here at Syracuse University, and usually, typically it runs in the summer, but it really, you have to, I recommend that you hop on our website and you take a look at the calendar, and we'll go ahead and type that website in the chat window for you. You have to make sure you have availability at one of those sites. Some of the differences, again, you're 7 days, so you're going to be able to get more into the weeds than you are able to with the VWISE program. And also class size is different. So VWISE, you have up to 200. For EBV, it is 25 students that are going through typically in that during that residency portion, and also participating in that online portion. It's 25 students. That program, I'm not sure how much folks want to hear about it right now, so I'll try to cut it short here. But that program is completely free. So if you do get accepted into that program, you will be travel is covered, your lodging is covered, and all food is covered. So hopefully that answered your question on that. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming through at this time, so we're going to close shop for now, but now you know how to get a hold of us, and we hope that you will keep in touch, let us know how everything's going, and definitely when you launch that business and you accomplish some of those milestones, make sure you get an email off to us. Do you have anything more, Kim? All right, well, we'll see you. Hope to see you soon.